What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video on my channel Skotrix, and today's you can see we are back on NBA 2K22 current gen for another build guide video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build the best James Harden build in NBA 2K22 current gen. This build is super good at shooting, finishing, playmaking, and it's pretty good at defense as well. Along with having really good physicals, this build is going to be a super good ISO build in the park, the rec, the NBA, wherever you're playing. This is going to be a super good build for you if you want to be running that James Harden ISO type of play style. So before we get into the video really quickly, I just want to mention, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you click that subscribe button. Only about 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to the channel, so if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. And yeah, with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into the video here. Alright, so first things first, on this screen, nothing really matters too much. The only thing that's important is you want your position to be a shooting guard, just like James Harden. Then the hand, the jersey number, and the name. None of that really matters. You can set that up however you want. Then go ahead and click continue. Now for the skill breakdown right here, you're going to want to go ahead and go down to the green and blue one. This one right here that has a little bit more green than blue. You want to make sure you take this one and not the perfectly balanced green and blue one, or the one that has more blue than green. You want to go all the way down to this one, which has a little bit more green than blue, and go ahead and say yes. Now for the physicals profile right here, you're going to want to go ahead and take the first one, pure purple. This is obviously so you have as much speed as possible. If you're making any guard build, basically this is the pie chart you want to go with, so just go ahead and say yes. Now for the attribute and badge distribution right here, first off for the finishing, you're going to want to go ahead and slide your close shot all the way up to a 93, which is max. And obviously that's super good. 93 close shot is going to be more than enough. Then you can go down to your driving layup, max that out, and driving dunk, max that out as well. And that will give you 11 finishing badges, which will be enough. I'll show you how to put on the badges at the end of the video, but 11 badges with these attributes will be enough to finish at the rim consistently, just like James Harden. So don't worry about it too much. This build doesn't have contact dunks or anything, but you will be able to dunk with it, especially if you're open at the rim. Obviously you're probably not going to be able to dunk on big men or anything like that, but if you want to build like that, you're really going to have to give up all your shooting and you're going to be nothing like James Harden. So this is as close to a James Harden build as you can get with the finishing right here. It's plenty good enough, I promise, don't worry about it. Then just go down to your shooting right here. For shooting, you want to max out your mid-range, 3-point shot, free throw all the way up to max, and then put your post fade up right here to a 65. This gives you 22 shooting badges. You just don't really need to bring this any higher, and if you bring it any lower, you start to lose shooting badges, and you don't want that. So 65 post fade, all three of these max. Then you can go ahead and go down to your playmaking. For playmaking, you're just going to want to go ahead and max out absolutely everything, and this will give you 16 playmaking badges. Again, I'll show you how to put on the badges at the end of the video, but 16 is plenty. And then with your remaining 142 attributes, you can go down to your defense right here, max out perimeter, lateral, steal, and put your last attributes right here into defensive rebound. Get that all the way up to max at a 64. That will give you 5 defense badges. Now, not the greatest defensive build ever, but I mean, James Harden isn't the best defensive player ever, and it will be enough to guard players in the park. You'll be able to guard all sorts of guards, and really you'll be able to guard wings as well. So no matter what position you're playing, guard, wing, whatever, you'll have no problem guarding players with this build. Go ahead and say yes. And now for the body shape right here, this really doesn't matter. You can choose whichever one you want. I don't know which one to be more similar to James Harden, probably like solid, or probably solid, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. But again, that doesn't matter. It doesn't actually affect the build in any way. All it does is change how the build looks. Then for the height right here, you're just going to want to go ahead and leave this at 6'5". Bang. Now for the weight, you're going to want to go down all the way to minimum weight, and this is so you can get as much speed and acceleration as possible, but you don't have to keep it right at minimum. You can bring it up a little bit until you see your acceleration go down, and then just bring it down 1 pound so that goes back to max, and that will be at 179 pounds right there. So just go ahead and confirm it at 179. That gives you 1 extra strength compared to minimum, so not a big difference, but you might as well do it because you don't lose anything. Now for the wingspan right here, you want to go ahead and bring this down 3 to a 78.8. This is so that you get an 80 ball handle, and you can get all of the dribbling animations that you're going to want on this build. You do lose a little bit of driving dunk, and that's really all that's important that you lose, but you gain the shooting, you gain the ball handle, and the most important thing about the ball handle is not the +1 attribute. Like I said, it's the animations that you're going to be able to get by having your wingspan down like this. And don't worry about the defense either that you lose from putting your wingspan down. It won't matter. Just go ahead and confirm your wingspan right there at 78.8. Then for the takeover, you can really choose whichever one you want. It's personal preference. They're all good. I wouldn't recommend the slasher for this build just because your slashing is kind of mid. I mean, it's good, but you're not going to be dunking on people really, so I wouldn't recommend this slashing takeover since it's mostly for players with contact dunks who are going to be trying to dunk on everybody all the time. But playmaker is good. You can break ankles a lot. Shot creator if you want to be taking those fadeaways, or spot up shooter if that's more of your play style. For me, I'll probably just go ahead and take playmaker since it's one of my favorite takeovers in the game. And now here you can see, boom, playmaking shot creator, shades of Devin Booker, Tyler Hero, and Desmond Bane. But I think this build is very, very similar to James Harden. And now, like I said, I'll go ahead and show you really quickly how to put on the badges for this video. I recommend you stick around for this. It'll only take a second and hopefully it'll help you out make the build as good as possible. So right here you can see the final attributes. Boom. Now into the badges right here. First off, for the finishing badges, I'm going to recommend going ahead and getting Slithery Finisher all the way up to gold right away. Also, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get Fearless Finisher up to gold as well. Now you don't need Posterizer since again you don't have contact dunks on this build, so you don't need to worry about Posterizer. I think Limitless Takeoff is a much better investment right here, so you can go ahead and put that onto silver. And then with your last three badges right here, you have a decent amount of preference. You can take either like Fast Twitch, Acrobat, Lob City Finisher. You're going to be catching a lot of lobs, but you probably don't want that. Rise Up, maybe. Unstrippable, maybe. There's a lot of good badges. Pro Touch is also pretty decent. And maybe even Giant Slayer. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and put Acrobat onto bronze, Fast Twitch onto bronze as well, and Unstrippable onto bronze, and confirm the finishing badges just like that. Now onto the shooting badges right here. I'm going to go ahead and put Hot Zone Hunter all the way up to Hall of Fame. Sniper also all the way up to Hall of Fame. And then I think Chef is also a really good investment all the way up to Hall of Fame. Now if you're going to be more of an off-ball player, maybe you want to invest into like Set Shooter, Catch and Shoot, and Limitless Spot Up instead of a badge like Chef. But if you're going to be an on-ball player, if you're going to be an ISO player, Chef is definitely a very, very important badge. And you're going to want to go ahead and have that all the way up to max. And then Deadeye, you can go ahead and put this onto gold. Blinders, just put that onto bronze and you should be good. And then with these last few badges right here, you have a bit of personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and put Corner Specialist onto silver. I'm also going to go ahead and put Set Shooter onto bronze just for when you are taking set shots. It's a good badge to have and it does give a nice little benefit on bronze. You could also take Mismatch Expert, but I'm not going to put that on. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and put Rhythm Shooter onto silver and then Volume Shooter onto bronze just like this. And this is how I'm going to go ahead and set up the shooting badges. Like I said, there is a little bit of personal preference for this depending on your play style. Like I didn't even put on Catch and Shoot since I probably won't be catching and shooting a lot with this build. But if you are planning on doing that, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and put on that badge. Then for the playmaking badges right here, first off, Handles for Days, get that all the way up to gold for sure. Then probably same thing with Quick First Step, you're going to want that up to gold. Unpluckable, you're going to want that up to gold as well. Bullet Passer, put this onto silver, should be good enough right there. Then I think if you're going to be doing ISO, Quick Chain, also a super, super important badge, put that all the way up to gold. And then you have some personal preference here again with the playmaking badges. There's a bunch of good badges, Needle Threader, Space Creator, Tight Handles, Hyperdrive is okay, Ankle Breaker is okay. So you could really put on any of these badges, but I'm just going to go ahead and put on Ankle Breaker and Space Creator so that I can unlock all of the animations from those two badges. Then go ahead and say yes. Now for the defense badges right here, you're probably just going to want to go ahead and put Clamps onto gold, and then maybe like Menace onto bronze and Pick Dodger onto bronze or something like that. But you might also want to take down Menace and put Pick Dodger onto silver if you're playing a lot of comp or playing a lot of twos or whatever, or games in the rec. But Menace is also really good in the rec, so it's really up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and put Clamps onto gold, Menace onto bronze, and Pick Dodger onto bronze just like that. Go ahead and say yes. And there you guys go. That is how you build the best James Harden build in NBA 2K22 current gen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like I said, only 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to the channel. So if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really, really appreciate it. Helps out a lot. And I also stream on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description below. Make sure you go follow me over there if you enjoy watching live streams. But that's going to be it. All right. Peace.